This video will show you how to install Veeam Backup and Replication, the Swedish way, without yapping. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Okay, so I have just booted up my Windows Server 2025 Standard Evaluation Edition, and we are going to install Veeam Backup and Replication on it. There is a free community edition that we are going to install, and also I'll show you how to set up a simple job. So let's get to it. First of all, open up a browser, search for Veeam Backup and Replication. And we are going to use the free community edition. Make sure you are on Veeam's official site, veeam.com, and it's going to be free in the URL. You will land on a page similar to this, and here we can see what type of program this is. There's a lot of info, what it can do. If we scroll down a bit, we can actually go to the system requirements. And here we can see there are many platforms as VMware, Hyper-V, Proxmox, etc. supported, even Nutanix, and of course ordinary physical infrastructures as we are going to use today. Microsoft Windows Server, click top right, download now. You will have to just fill in a standard form, and then you will download the actual ISO file. I have prepared that, so I will exit out of the browser. We don't need that anymore. And I will show it the file that it downloaded. It should look something like this. Quite hefty size of about 13 gigabytes ISO file. We can just right click and mount it. It takes a while, quite a large image file to mount it, but after it's mounted we are going to see the installer. So we just wait a bit here, or I will fast forward if it takes too long. Alright, so about a minute later it asks us if we want to open the file, and that we want to do. And here we can see that we are now met by a folder, couple of folders, auto-run. Doesn't seem to actually auto-run, but let's open up setup.exe as admin. We can exit out of the file explorer, and here we can see Veeam Backup and Replication 12.3 in this case, and we will click install. Here we get three different options: install Veeam Backup and Replication, which is the solution that we want to go with today. But there are also Enterprise Manager and just the Windows-based console. But we are going to go with the top. Of course, we have to accept the license agreement, so I accept. And here it asks us to sign in with a Veeam account, not necessary. And it also asks us if we want to update the license automatically. That is actually necessary, so we will leave that marked and click next. This license steps takes a while. It's probably checking towards some online servers to verify the license, but as we are using a community edition, a free edition, shouldn't be any problems. So we just need to hang tight. And here we can see after a while, actually a minute or two, you can see it's ready to install. We get some of the folders it's going to use, the accounts, engine, and also the TCP ports. So if you want, you can customize these settings if you're not too keen on using exactly these ports, for example. Otherwise, it might be actually good time to take a print screen and just press install. You can see that we are now on step 1 of 7. So here it's actually going to install a PostgreSQL server for its database. There are not too many inputs during this installment, so I will fast forward until we actually need to make some choices, some inputs. Okay, so after about 10 minutes, the installment was done, all the 7 steps, and there were no input needed on any of the 7 steps. What we will do now is to go about and open Veeam Backup and a replication console. So this is the front-end GUI of the actual program. And of course you can have this on another machine if you would like to manage the backup software from another machine. Here we will just press connect to open up the GUI. So this is what you will see when you open up the GUI for the first time. We have the inventory of your preferred backup, what you're going to actually backup. Then we have the backup infrastructure. So you can have maybe an offsite backup or a cloud backup. You can have multiple copies going back and forth. But if we click on backup repositories, we will see that our backups will go into C:\backup for this default installment. Okay, so we need something to actually test and backup and set up a simple backup job. So how I will demonstrate this in this video is going to be ordinary share. So we can do a file backup. Maybe there is a folder with some super important files that you want to backup. So we go to C:, and I will create a new folder, test backup. And in this folder, we can just create a new text document like this. Let's make a share out of it. More options, properties, sharing, and hit share. And why not with everyone? And have a read. We press share. Alright, so there we have the share and we have the file. Next we will go to inventory and here we will create a job. So we are now in the job section. So here we will go with right click, backup, and we are going to back up a file share. And here we see add unstructured data source, file share. So depending on what you want to back up, of course you choose that. I will just choose add SMB or NFS share to inventory here. And this is a SMB share in my case. Here SMB server or file share, we can just do localhost and what did we call it? Just backup, I believe. Hit next. And here we can see where it's going to be processed. So all proxies, default, hit apply. No warnings, so we can go next and finish. Sure, this could be file backup job 1, that's okay. Here we can actually specify if we want just to backup some specific file or folder, so we can press add. We can see the text document that I did, so we can choose that one, hit next. Here we can see the repository, how much gig we got free, and the retention. So this is going to be 28 days. Hit next. If we want special archiving, we can set it here, but I will press next. And a schedule is always nice, so sure, run this every day at 10 o'clock and retry if it failed. And we press finish. So this is how it looks for the job. It's scheduled, but we can of course run it manually also if we press right click and press start. So we now have the job running. It's quite nice. You can see bottom right on the throughput. So for big backups, you can see, okay, the network is the actual bottleneck here, or maybe if the disk or the proxy is the bottleneck. So it will show you graphs on what the different bottlenecks are. Here we could see the primary bottleneck was the proxy and the different loads. And it succeeded. For every backup, of course, it's very, very important to also restore. We will now delete that file and see if we can restore it. I will go into the folder. I will press delete. Okay, so now it's time to test the restore function. It's going to differ if you're restoring a complete VM or in my case just a file. But make sure you are on the backup jobs and you will hit the restore button on the top here. This will be file share because that is the only I have access to right now. Different options here, instant file, the entire share, rollback or individual files. We can go with individual files, that's okay. Here is the job that we made. And here is the resource, so I will press next and browse. Now it's going to find the files that was in the share. And we should be able to choose which file to restore. Here we can see backup browser. Alright, so here are the different files that we can restore. We can right click, we can restore, overwrite. And it's now starting the restoration of the files. It's empty, so it won't take that long, of course. And here we can see restore completed successfully. If we now open up, we can see that the text document is once there. That was it for installing Veeam Backup Replication and a bit of bonus how to create a backup job and do some restoring. Hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye bye.